Well, welcome back guys to another video. We're going to be talking about storage devices now. So let's start talking about so we can understand data storage. Why does a computer need data storage? Data storage is the ability of the computer to save information permanently. The computer can store programs, apps, documents, photos, music, and movies. It's what lets the computer store um, data, really anything. Um, the computer could not store data. If the computer could not store data, then each time the computer was turned off, it would lose the information that you were working on. So, how does a computer store data, you might be wondering? Um, a computer only understands data written as ones and zeros. I talked about this in a previous video, but ones and zeros that are put together as a special code. The special code is called binary code. Binary code is the language of the computer. It's the common language that all computers understand. Every electronic it uses binary code to understand the information. Binary code is the language of the computers, which is unlike the language people speak. It only has two words, only two, on or off. Those are translated into ones and zeros. On is one, off is zero. All information, whether it is word processing document, digital photograph, or music, is converted into this format by stringing together various combinations of zeros and ones. The computer knows what sound to play, what letter to type, and where the position of the mouse pointer on the screen based on binary code. All information, no matter whether it is text, pictures, or sound, is converted into bits of data. A bit is the smallest unit of data a computer can understand. A bit is the binary digit 0 or 1. Binary code is made up of 8 digits of data called a byte. The bits and bytes are the turning into electronic pulses that are on or off. The pulses are the computer's language. So the binary code uses bits and bytes. One, one, or 0 is a bit. Then you have 8 bits is a byte, and that is what makes up binary code to tell the computer its information. So you might be wondering, what does binary code have to do with data storage? And I've already kind of mentioned it, but we're going to go into detail here. So when the computer stores information, it converts the data into binary code. Whenever you scan something on a scanner, it converts it into binary code. It breaks it down into bytes. For example, the letter O would look like on a computer strand 0 1 0 0 1 1 1. That's what the letter O would look like. So when you're typing a sentence of multiple letters and then you pull it up into um, the computer language, you're going to see zeros and ones all over the place, and it gets kind of confusing, really, if you don't know what you're looking at. So when stored, the letter 0 equals 1 byte of computer memory. The bytes are stored on a storage medium, which is storage device, hard drive, USB, um, stuff like that, as a file. The file is simply a collection of bytes that have a file name. That's and then it's saved like that, and when you pull it back up, it turns it back into binary code, and when you're typing something up, that's what it turns into. So now that we understand bits, bytes, and binary code, and understanding the storage, there's many different kinds. When a file gets larger, which it does, the more bytes you add into it, it turns into, it has a different name. Like we know the megabyte, the gigabyte, the kilobyte, and the terabyte. Those are the four most common ones. Those are all different kinds of bytes. Like the kilobyte, it has 1024 bytes. So as it gets larger, it has a different name. Um, so let's talk about two storage devices now. Um, or storage mediums, as they are also called. So if you hear me refer to storage mediums or storage devices, they're basically the exact same thing. So let's talk about over the years, the technology used to store information has changed dramatically. It really has. Even in my lifetime, 16 years, about to be 17, it's changed dramatically over the size, how big or small the storage device is. Like back when hard drives first came out, they were they didn't have a lot of storage space on them, really. Um, they have gotten larger capacity, more durable, more portable. Now you have companies that make the My Passport. Those are my personal favorites for portable hard drives, and you can get them just like a regular hard drive in 4, 6, 8, as many terabytes as they sell them to, but they're portable and you can plug them in with a USB. Each storage medium has a surface that stores information. This surface is divided into small sections that are used to store data. The reason a storage medium is divided into sections is so that the computer knows where to look for the information stored on the disk. So, there are many different types of storage mediums used to store data. Often the type uses depend on the purpose. For example, there are floppy disks, CDs, DVDs, flash memory, and the hard disk. Those use um, those are the different types of storage mediums. We're not going to be talking about floppy disks because those are kind of outdated and no one uses those anymore unless you have an older computer like a Macintosh or something like that. Um, so let's start with the CD. A CD is short for compact disc, and the DVD is short for digital versatile disc. We're going to be talking about the DVD, but right now we're going to be talking about um, how information is read onto a CD. Data on a CD or DVD is read and written using an optical drive. So, like most computers, unless you build one yourself, has a optical drive. It's that drive that you can hit a button, it pops out, and you place a CD onto it. That's an optical drive. Um, and once the disk starts to read, it rotates, and a laser scans the surface looking for changes in light. It is the lightness or darkness of the surface that tells the computer about the data that is stored on the disk. Both CDs and DVDs are made out of plastic. Information is added or read to the disk with a laser that heats the surface. That's why creating a disk is called burning, because the CD is heated up by a laser that changes the data. That's why it is called a disk, or that's why the process is called burning. Information is stored in a track that is in the shape of a spiral. The track goes from the center of the disk to the outer edge. So, is burner speed important? The CD and DVD optical drives are rated based on burning speed. The burning speed is how many times faster the drive spins the CD when burning data onto the storage. So whenever you are looking for an optical drive, you will see that it's rated based on the burning speed. So, um, the DVD holds more data than the CD. A DVD can hold 4 gigabytes when the CD can only hold 650 megabytes. Now there are 1,000 megabytes in a gigabyte. Okay, so you have 4 gigabytes, 4,000 megabytes in a DVD, and then in a CD you have 650. That's not even a fourth of how much space is on a DVD. Data on a CD or DVD is stored in tracks. The case of a DVD, the tracks are thinner than on a CD, which means more information can be burned onto the same size surface. There are also, Blu-ray discs, which hold even more data at a greater density, 25 gigabytes of data and 50 gigabytes of data for dual layer discs. Most Blu-ray discs are 25 gigabytes, 25,000 megabytes of space. There are several different types of CDs and DVDs, which we're not going to talk about because you don't really need to know these that much. It doesn't really matter. All you really need to know is that a DVD holds more space than a CD and stuff like that. Let's talk about flash memory. Now, flash memory is the most common type of portable memory. It's, your flash drive. These use flash memory. Flash memory is a computer chip that is used to store information. These flash drives, they have a computer chip inside that uses flash memory. Flash memory is used phones, cameras, fax machines, and other electronic devices. They are being used. Credit cards and identification cards are now starting to use flash memory. Um, Door entry access cards with built-in microprocessors for security. Flash memory chips are also used in a storage device called flash drive or USB. These things right here. I have a couple of these lying around for different purposes, but this is my main one that I use. 16 gigabytes, 16,000 megabytes in this. That's the one I mainly use. I have some with more, I have some with less based on what I need them for. Um, the flash drive contains a flash memory chip that is used to store data. The flash memory chip is protected by a small plastic case. If I was to open this up, you would see a computer chip inside, but it's protected by this plastic case. That's why they recommend you don't take these off. Um, the plastic case has a USB slot at the top that is used to plug the flash drive into the USB port on a computer. Right here. Once you pop it out, there's the USB plug-in that you plug into your computer to access this um, flash drive. Um, the reason it's called flash memory is it stores it in the flash. Flash memory is the fastest type of data saving storage medium. It saves it that in a flash. That's why it's called flash memory. It's grown. The flash memory has grown um, very popular because it is affordable, it's portable, and it holds a lot of information. So that's why the flash memory, yes, computers still use hard drives. Yes, they still use other types of storage mediums, but they use flash but people use flash drives over portable hard drives because it's faster to save them in a flash with a flash drive. So let's talk about the hard drive. The hard drive, or also known as hard disk, is a storage medium used to store programs, user settings, and files. It was invented in the 1950s, and they started as large disks up to 20 inches in diameter, holding just a few megabytes. But today they are the size of my hand and can hold 1 terabyte of data, 100 or 1,000 gigabytes. 100, almost pretty much every desktop computer and server used today contains one or more hard drives. Every mainframe and supercomputer is normally connected to hundreds of them. The hard disk or hard drive is used to store digital information in a relative permanent form. They give computers ability to things to remember. They give the computers the ability to remember things when they are powered off. That's why when you turn your computer off after you save something, that's what it saves it and it pulls it back up because of that hard drive. Hard drives have gotten smaller and smaller, um, and they've also gotten larger based on the size. Um, there are three ways to measure the performance of a hard drive: storage capacity, data rate, and seek time. Storage capacity, that's obvious. The amount of bytes of data that the hard drive can store. Data rate is the number of bytes per second that the drive can deliver the information to the CPU, the processing unit. Seek time, the amount of time it takes between the time that the CPU requests a file and the first byte sent by it. Those are your different types of storage mediums or storage devices. That's all we've also talked about in this video. Um, the different binary code bit, byte, sectors. Remember, sectors are the um, location of where a data is stored on a disk. We've talked about the size of the storage capacity of certain storage mediums. So that's going to be it for this video, you guys. Next, we're going to be talking about the different types of memory, RAM and ROM mainly. Next video, we're going to be spending a lot of time on RAM and ROM. Then we'll go into other things. After we talk about RAM and ROM, we're going to be talking about the motherboard. What the motherboard is, what it does, what its purpose is. Then we will go into the processors, graphics cards, sound cards, stuff like that. Also, um, next video, I will be showing you, after I get done explaining, we're going to be at the end of this video, I will show you different discs, um, DVDs, CDs, and then I will show you the hard drives. I'll show you mine that's in my computer and stuff like that. But that's going to be it for today. Thank you for listening to this. I'm hoping that I'm explaining all of this well enough for you to understand. If not, please let me know. So we talked about flash memory, flash drives, hard drives, CDs, DVDs, and stuff like that. So thank you for listening, and I will see you again in the next video about different types of memory. So this right here is my computer, as you can see, and I wanted to quickly show you where the hard drive, which I have laid out right here, where it goes, and the optical drive, which is what we just talked about. The hard drive in my computer goes into this space right here, this open space. I have it removed, but it would go in right here in the space, right above the optical drive, and this is the optical drive, the thing that reads CDs and DVDs. We're going to be talking about everything else in the case, the graphics card, the RAM, the CPU, the motherboard, the power supply, everything else in the case. But right now I'm just showing you two things in here, the optical drive and the hard drive. So remember that the hard drive stores the data, and the hard drive stores the data, and the optical drive reads the CDs and the DVDs and the data stored on those.